Hey LEGO fans, and welcome back to MB Bricks. Today we are looking at part 15 of my Building Jurassic Park series. If you like this build series, be sure to leave a like and a comment below, as well as hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to see updates to this project when they are posted on Fridays. This week I have finished construction of the visitor center, placing the roof structure on top. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at this update. I have spun the visitor center around to have an easier time viewing the display. The first part I completed was the front entranceway with the wide steps, cascading water, and green plants to bring a bit of color to the drab gray building. On the right hand side we can see a ramp leading up to the doors for wheelchair access, and on the left we can see scaffolding as the building was still under construction. The grand entrance had oversized doors surrounded by curved windows and a flat roof. Continuing up, we can see more curves with rounded roofs on top. The roofs were something I was worried about coming together since the beginning of this build. However, I am super proud of the final design, using hinged pieces and dark tan plates for the first level, and then a simple octagonal shape for the upper level of the roof. I then recreated the roof on a smaller scale for each side. The top section of the roof was made quite sturdy and comes off easy. The lower level of the roof is a bit less sturdy, but comes off fairly easily as well. Then we can remove the smaller roof sections on either side to see the interior details. When you first walk into the visitor center, you can see the grand entranceway with lots of cool features and details. Two large battling dinosaur fossils greet you as you enter, and a big banner sign reading, "When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth," hangs from the ceiling. I have added quite a few support beams for the roof, and wide twisting staircase leads to the second floor and balcony. The visitor center was still under construction, and so there are many boxes scattered around scaffolding, and I have even included a paint can and roller to put in extra details. When the storm began rolling onto the island, there was a bit of rush to get to the docks to catch the last ferry, and so I have also added in some garbage, such as these cups that workers would have left behind in their haste to leave quickly. Finishing off this section of the build, we can see to the left of the main floor a small bathroom that I would imagine would be on the main floor for easy access. To the right, there is a door that leads down to the underground garages where they would store the staff and tour vehicles. Beside here on the second floor, we can see the control room. This part of the visitor center was where staff members kept tabs on all areas of the park, including electrical fence function, number of dinosaurs roaming, etc. They could also watch tourists on the ride through the dinosaur paddocks once the park officially opened. The large screen on the left-hand side shows the entire overview of the park, while several desks and computers could operate other functions. Round windows overlook other parts of the visitor center, and I've included a ladder here, which Grant, Ellie, and the kids used to climb to the ceiling vents to escape the velociraptors near the end of the movie. The scene set in this room is when Arnold discovers Nedry has shut down most of the park in his attempt to steal the dinosaur embryos. While they attempt to get the park back online, Nedry's screensaver mocks them, and Hammond realizes that he needs Muldoon to go retrieve his grandkids, stuck in the electrical vehicles near the T-Rex paddock. Nedry was a complete slob, and so I've made a very messy desk with an overflowing garbage can, food, and papers scattered about the floor. This section of the building also comes off easily to view the kitchens below. The kitchens hosted a very iconic scene in the original Jurassic Park movie, where the velociraptors hunted the kids up and down the aisles of the counters. There is the door from the main lobby where the workers could enter, and another door that would lead to the main dining hall to bring the food. A row of stoves and ovens line the back wall, and a large white walk-in fridge is next to them. A couple of rows of countertops, messily covered with pots and pans, would have been used to prepare food for a couple of hundred guests at a time. I finished off the room with a large shelf as well as a tall cart. I have now spun the entire display around so we can get a good view of the back of the visitor center. I will show quickly the theater section of the center, where our heroes are watching Mr. DNA, who will explain to guests how the dinosaur cloning process was possible. The theater had comfy red chairs with lap bars for the ride portion of the tour. The room was still very unfinished, and so the walls are bare and many boxes were stacked around the room. After the quick movie, the chairs would all rotate to peer through the large glass windows where guests could watch the real Jurassic Park scientists hard at work creating dinosaurs. The genetics lab was one of my favorite parts of the visitor center build, and I created a few desks with different stations as dinosaur embryos were created and then hatched. First off, we can see where the mosquitoes preserved in amber are waiting to have the dinosaur DNA extracted from the blood using a long-tipped needle. Gaps in the DNA sequences were filled using frog DNA, so I have a setup here for that. Dinosaur embryos were then stored in the cold storage before they were turned into eggs, ready to be incubated and grown into a baby dinosaur. We can see Dr. Wu currently tending to the hatchery, checking the eggs that are currently being incubated, making notes on his clipboard. We can see another scientist here panic as she realizes that the eggs is hatching off to the side without anyone knowing. The last couple of desks are simple workstations, one with a scale to check the weight of newborn dinosaurs as an empty shell has been left near it on the desk. Continuing on, we can see the last couple of the sections of the visitor center, the grand dining hall named the Cretaceous Cafe, as well as the outdoor patio area. The patio area is modestly decorated with bright pink umbrellas and some potted plants to brighten up the space. The Cretaceous Cafe was quite large as it needed to be able to host a lot of guests when the park was officially open to the public. The large hallway leads into the dining room from the main lobby, and see-through displays of dinosaurs and habitats decorate the one wall. We can see trouble looming in the main lobby with a velociraptor peering in. The kids have just returned from the park, dirty and hungry, so they haven't noticed the raptor yet. They were stuffing their faces as fast as possible after noticing the huge amount of food prepared on the tables. I can assume the kitchen staff did not want the food to spoil during the power outage, and so they put everything out for the staff members who stayed behind to try and get the park up and running again. The one table was piled high with fruits, veggies, meat, and bread, while the other was covered with all kinds of desserts, much to Tim's excitement. As the kids ate, Lex notices the raptor in the foyer, prompting the kids to run down the hallway into the kitchens to hide. With the visitor center back in place, you can see I have also finished off the landscaping for this section here, leading to the velociraptor pen. I have added in lots of trees and bushes, as well as some mysterious nests filled with hatched eggs. We are nearing the end of this large build as I only have this section of the table left to build on. Unfortunately, I won't have the space to fit in nearly as much as I wanted to, as I tried to make the build as accurate as possible. Therefore, I will probably use this last bit of space to fit in the lake scene with the brachiosauruses. If you would like to see previous parts of this build series, please check the description for a link to a playlist of other parts on my channel. If you want to see more Jurassic themed builds not included with this series, there will be also a link to that playlist as well. If you haven't already, please do subscribe as it helps this channel out a lot. Thanks so much for checking out this video today, and until next time, keep on building.